Yeah,
that's
too much.
Guys,
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello there.
Hello,
Hello, gang.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hey.
Go team.
Let's all do that.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Amanda. I'm going to be moderating the Overwatch panel. I'm so joyed to be surrounded by so many, or virtually surrounded, I guess, by so many wonderful actors from Overwatch. So let's just go on ahead and start with an introduction, what you like about your character, and the line you use to get into character when you start recording. Carolina, we'll start with you because you're at the top left of my screen. You're just at the top left. I'm going clockwise.
All right. Sure. I don't use a line to get in. I think I use a stand. I usually kind of like stand real strong because Sombra's so badass. Or depending on stuff, she'll lean back when she says things. So I think it's more physical for me just because the accent comes naturally. But my favorite line of the short film Infiltration, I've said this a million times, is "Relájate, I'm not going to kill you," because it kind of sums up her dark humor in that one line, and that's what I connect to the most is her dark sense of humor.
Hi. My Brady Bunch square is lit up. Let's see. What was the first part of the question besides what do we use to get into character?
What do you like about your character? What's your favorite thing about your character?
Everything.
Everything. Love it.
Yes, that I get to kick Matt Mercer's butt. That I have a giant robot sidekick. That I'm in charge, which is always good. And I think she's pretty organic for me, sadly. But I think there's two things that really help me. One is McCree, and the other is a line that we sort of came, like the first half of it was written and we were just playing around, and the second half I came up with, which is round here, it's my way, or who am I kidding? It's my way.
Delightful.
Who's on fire?
Yeah.
Someone, somewhere.
Sorry, it's New York.
Baby. Oh, God. Yeah.
Get out of the building, Lucy.
Yeah, right?
No.
I think Jean's next.
Wait, who's next?
up?
You.
Oh, you're lit up. Go for it.
Jeannie.
Oh, okay. So the question was, what do I like about my character? I like that she seems quite positive. She's this brand new bot that is constantly learning. And I just like that she's super positive constantly, which is a bit annoying, but at the same time, you kind of need that, What else? Oh, what do I do?
Yeah, what line do you use to get into the mode?
You know what? It's kind of like what Carolina said. I don't necessarily use a line, but I kind of think about C-3PO because I love him so much. I feel like my eldest brother is a lot like C-3PO as well. So I kind of imagine her and then imagine a slightly more chilled out version. And then I'll go into it. But from subsequent recordings, I feel like Adaptive Circuits Engaged is probably the one that just gets me into it.
Yes.
Josh, that back.
Josh, you're lit up.
Yeah, the best.
You're a hype man, dude.
Yes, Circuits Engaged.
Oh my God. Let's see. Is that
All
Chloe
right.
now?
Who's
Sorry?
up?
I think you're up.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. Well, what do I love about my character? Is it about, so much. First, I have a lot of fun just going and exploring that evil side because she's so unapologetic, Widowmaker, about, there's a helicopter. I hope that's okay. She's so unapologetic about being the best, being super confident, being able to basically kill anyone she wants. And I never get to explore that in my real life. So I really do enjoy that a lot. And she takes a lot of pleasure. I really like that aspect of her. Whatever she does, very pleasure driven. I guess the lines, I mean, at this point, I feel like the line that I get asked the most is one shot, one kill. I think it's a good line for me to get into because, yeah, there's a bit of that pleasure in it that I was talking about, as well as the whole like kind of femme fatale, sexy voice and stuff. So it's a good combination.
All right, Josh, I've got you next on the squares.
Well, when I'm not selling real estate in the finest aspects of Beverly Hills, I'm usually hanging out with David Hasselhoff.
So jealous.
What do I do to get into, what do I love about Roadhog? I love the fact that, you know, one of the coolest things about Overwatch is the community. And I love seeing that Roadhog is such a body positivity character that anyone and everyone can cosplay as him. And I've seen gender bends and I've seen all sorts of amazing stuff. And to see people feel free in their skin and happy to portray that character is really rewarding for me. As far as what I do for to get his voice ready, I scream into a wall for about an hour. And no, but realistically, the voice that always brings me back is kind of his grunts and his, yeah, I'm in no rush, yeah. And I'm like, okay, now we're kind of there. So Anjali always says we have rotating voice lines, favorites of the day. So today, my favorite is the good and classic, say bacon one more time. Like, you know, that kind of stuff. So, absolutely. Thank you, David. Thank you.
So good.
Boris! Yay, Boris is here. Thank you.
Yay!
I'm
Just to
very
give you an
embarrassed.
idea as to what we're
Sorry
doing
that
so
I'm
you can
late.
like be ready. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Sorry, because I'm in the UK. I thought, oh, I've got about 40 minutes. Then I got some messages saying, "Where are you?" I thought, no, I still have time. Right?
Gotta love
I
time zones.
Yeah, I messed up the time zone. I'm very, very sorry. I humbly apologize. I hope we can make it up somehow.
But you've made
I think
something.
you'll be
Never
all right.
forgive you.
It's so nice to
Nah,
see
yeah.
you all. Look at you all. You're so beautiful, everyone. It's just wonderful to see everyone.
You've just made all of us.
I needed
We
that.
almost showered for this.
All right. Well, Boris, while we're answering questions or having the others while everybody is answering questions, to be thinking about it, the question is, what do you like about your character? And what line do you use to get ready for recording? So we'll just go down. Who is lit up next? Jen Cohn, you are lit up.
Wow, I am just lit, guys.
You are
Good
lit.
morning. Hi, I am lit. Hi, that's so nice. So to get into character, it's all about the posture. I mean, much like what Caro said, I have to stretch out my chest and broaden my shoulders. And usually the best get into character line is aerial superiority achieved. And there's a real, I've got you on my radar. There's a real focus and drive and pointed thing about it. And what do I love most? I mean, she's so freaking great. Well, first here, she likes to have a get together. She likes to get the gang together, much like we're doing today, which is fun. And I love that Pharah is unapologetically macho and she's good without it being that she's got some vengeance backstory making her good or making her fight. She's fighting for what's right and for what it feels like is just in the world. I like that she has mother issues. I think that that's very human. I like that she's macho in her armor and that she isn't, she's super hot, but she's not flagrantly catsuit hot. Although now in aviator skin she is, but that isn't the armor that she chooses. I like that about her. And what else? I like so much about her. Those are all things.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, who is lit up next? Theo, you look kind of lit up on my screen
yes.
at least.
Always. Hey, I'm Feodor Chin, voice of Zenyatta. And what I like about him is he wears those really big kind of MC Hammer pants, and they look very comfortable. 'Cause I'm wearing nothing but caftans once this is all over. Caftan life. And to get into character, I like to say, I will not juggle because I won't, and I don't. So. That'll do it.
All right, who is next? We'll go with Johnny.
Hi, what's going on?
No, take the sip. Take the sip.
No, I'll save it for later. It's on right now.
Wherever Johnny is, it's the middle of the night.
Ooh.
It always is the middle of the night where I am. So, what do I like about Lucio? I like that he's a positive, loving boy. He's salty. He's super sexy. He's that boy. He's somebody you can count on, I think, to show up and make you feel good. How do I get into character? I would say that it starts also for me the way I'm standing, and it starts off with noises. It's ha, yeah, oh, yeah, woo! Like when I start doing that, I'm like, okay, he's here. He's present with me. And then I make magic, super simple.
Well, you wear the rollerblades in studio, though, right?
No, I am standing in rollerblades and I'm hanging on the wall. That's how I've demanded to do my sessions.
Yeah, it's in the contract.
Boombox, right? On your shoulder.
What was that?
So with a boombox on your shoulder.
Oh yeah, no, yes, yeah, all the things of Lucio. Yeah, absolutely. I wear the full leg gear. I have it all. I literally do have a lot of that stuff from fans. Anyway, here comes my sip.
Delicious.
What part of the world are you in, Johnny?
I'm in Hollywood, literally deep Hollywood.
Yeah, so it's not the middle of the night. Okay.
Deep Hollywood. In fact, I'm waving at your house right now.
Right.
She lives literally
That's
5
cute.
minutes from me walking. So I boarded up my house.
Walking.
Walking.
Wow.
The New Yorker's like, how dare you? Like,
We
I've
have
never walked to
We're
her
supposed
house.
to be the
Like,
walkers,
no.
right? Yeah.
No, that's not something we
There's
do.
a difference between 5 minutes drive, 5 minutes walk. It's a distance thing.
I got to bike my kid to my sister's this morning, so he had something to do while I was doing this. I get to bike him and bike back before we.
Yeah.
Was it a tandem bicycle?
Yeah, like a bicycle. It was honestly a dream of mine, and now it's been achieved. Yeah.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
Love it.
Johnny, I have to add that the beard is looking fabulous.
Yeah.
let's
I'm modeling
look.
it after you. Look, you know what? I put it down today because it's absolutely going
Is it
insane.
a little staticky?
I'm like,
What's
what
up with
is
that?
happening?
My brother just grew one like that, like the mountain man thing. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And
Yeah.
I've been sitting around home fixing up my house, doing manly things. I'm like, what is happening to me?
I'm trying to do the Josh Petersdorf, but I need another pandemic. I need like COVID-20. I think,
Yeah. We'll get there.
No. Oh, please no.
We'll hit puberty someday, Theo, for sure.
I just,
I tried to trim my own beard and I ended up looking like some rejected Amish scholar. It was very bad.
It's incredible.
Roger Craig Smith has a fabulous video about that on Instagram.
It's so true. It's like I respect my barber so much more now than I did before. I'm like, you do God's work. Thank you.
Boris
about
is
it.
going the other way.
So bad.
He's, Boris is on the other end of the spectrum there.
Amen.
We've got off the
Yeah,
rails.
I thought I'd just
We've
get
got off the rails.
We did get off the rails. Sorry, Amanda.
That's what makes it fun. No, that's what makes it fun. You're good. All right, next person. Lucy, have you gone yet? I don't think so.
Have I gone yet?
Yes.
No.
I did not think so. Okay, God. I'm getting to the point of like, crap, who hasn't? All right, so Lucy, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Sweet.
What do I like about my what? Oh, great.
Oh, she's doing sweet.
That was amazing. Lucy, next.
Great. Hey,
All right, next person.
Inspirational.
Okay, Anjali, you're up. Okay.
Okay, very serious. What I like about Mercy, what could you not like about Mercy? She's Mercy. What I love about Mercy is that she's, to me, a real
female character in the most amazing sense of the word, because she's a badass, she's educated, she's tough, she's compassionate, she's soft and kind, but she's very strong at the same time. She has all these sides to her, which I think make a real person and a real woman. And those are the kind of female characters that we don't get to see too many of, unfortunately. That's changing more now. But the fact that she's so feminine and yet so tough and in control and educated, and she has all these sides to her, that's what I love about her and what I find inspiring. And of course, the fact that so many fans draw such positive inspiration from her to, help others or to go into fields where they help others. I love that. And what do I do to get into character? I cover my body in Nutella and run down. No, posture. Yeah, posture is very important. Sometimes I call my mom because I took a lot of inspiration from my mom's voice for Mercy. I let her, berate me for something, and then I go in and do the recording.
Wow.
And she is a first responder, right? So
she's a first responder. Yeah, that's right. And I'm wearing the shirt because Mercy, for the trailer for the pink skin, there's a great line that she says, which is, "Helping those in need is its own reward." And I love that. And I think that's very pertinent today.
It is.
I like that.
Well
I
said.
like that.
Yeah.
Well said.
All
Thanks.
right, Miss Anjali.
Yes. Hi, I'm Anjali Bhimani. I'm the voice of Symmetra. And the thing I love the most about Symmetra, there are a lot of things I love about her, but the thing I love the most about her is that despite the fact that she had so many challenges all the way from childhood, whether it was being plucked out of the slums and taken away from her family, or the challenge of being on the spectrum and maintaining maintaining herself in a world of people who didn't understand what that meant. All of the different challenges she had, despite all of those, she used those as a reason to become stronger and become more herself and to make the world a better place, instead of using it as a reason to give up or to become bitter, because she's so focused on making a better world. Whether or not she's aligned with the right company to do that, we don't really know, but she's trying. And I love that. I find that very inspirational about her, that she's taken her circumstances and used them as a reason to make good in the world. And then I also love that she's so incredibly elegant and graceful under pressure, which kind of transfers into the next question, which was about getting into character. I don't really have a specific line that I get into, like the other gals mentioned. Posture is a big thing, but I do get into the mindset of a very classy Indian auntie who is judgmental without necessarily, like, there's just a simplicity to the things that she says that are mean. Like, so when she says things like, "Let us discuss your failures," you're like, ow, ow, ow. But that totally sounds like something one of my aunties could have said growing up. So I feel like, great, I just channel all of my judgmental Indian aunties. And then I always wear high heels, which I wear a lot in real life too. But for Symmetra in particular, since she does have that kind of elegance and she's running around in high heels all the time too. So yeah, that's what I do.
Very cool. All right, Boris.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What I love about Sigma is him being conflicted and conflict and being kind of a dark, layered, disturbing character. I think, actors always like to play characters who are slightly off and slightly weird and slightly different and slightly scary. And it's just really nice to be able to just go to places that otherwise in other projects you probably wouldn't be able to go. especially because it's such a lovely, it's a very kind of unifying, lovely, warm game in so many aspects. But to have a little bit of darkness in there, I think is really, really fun and interesting as an actor to explore. So that's what I love about Sigma. I also love his bare feet, of course. Very sexy, I think. Man showing off his bare feet, yes. And in order to get to that crazy,
just got yourself on WikiFeet there.
Yes.
to get there, I don't know what I do. What do I do? I think the main thing I always do is and it doesn't always work. It's probably not the best prep, but is to just as you see the line in front of you, think like the complete opposite. Because he's a very violent, aggressive, big tank kind of guy, but he's very fragile and emotionally conflicted inside. So if there's a loud, screamy line, I actually think, delicate, little, fragile, sincere, innocent little child. When the soft line, I might think like, no mercy, just destroy, destroy, destroy. And of course, I don't always read the lines out in the complete opposite of what the intention is, because that wouldn't work. But something in there maybe helps to get a little bit of that conflicted and contrast and craziness in there. That has a slightly different edge when it comes out to what it actually reads like on the paper.
That's beautiful.
And that's that, I think.
Yeah, I'm taking notes here for my own good right now. That was great.
It's very
Well spoken.
Well, on that note, I know a lot of you had mentioned like the physicality when you're recording, how important that is. What techniques and systems do you all like to use when it comes to when it comes to acting? Because there's so many different methods and systems and techniques and schools of thought. What all do you guys like to do? Because it's different for different people.
I asked that same question to Josh actually when we met late last year, because I that's a question I really still want the answer to, because I go to these sessions and I just destroy my voice. Singers are classically trained singers. They know how to do it from the belly and not from the throat, and there's a specific type of training. I have no idea how. I hope one of you guys can teach me.
Yes.
Because I
This
would
is
love
so
to
funny.
be able
Yeah.
to destroy
Yes.
my
Meet
voice.
the two, Jennifer and Jen, the two of us.
This
You go first. Go ahead.
Oh, nice.
Right.
I started singing in rock clubs when I was 15, and when I was 16, we got a gig that destroyed all the singers in town, because it started at 10 p.m., went to 4 a.m., and it was 6 hours in a tiny club full of smoke and grossness. So I carted my butt over to a classical singing teacher, and he taught me. I will never be an opera singer, but he taught me techniques for supporting my voice, and I think to this day that's why I have a freakishly large rib cage. That and genetics, but. And then the other type of training that I've found extremely valuable is Broadway belt training. It's the kind of thing like my teacher, and he teaches virtually. I'll give him a plug, Bill Haller. He's in LA. He's amazing. He works virtually as well. And he has a technique where you like bite on a hamburger kind of thing, like, like pull this way back and bite. And your diaphragm and all these muscles here are super tight. Everything's tight so that this gets to chill out. And the trick is that I've found is you have to practice it on a daily basis so that it's second nature. Because when you're in that booth, all that cognitive thought's going to go out, and you're just going to want to get it right. You really have to do, even if it's 5 minutes a day, of the exercises just to get the machine strong. Because whatever your habit is going to take over in the moment. So you have to create a new habit that protects this like gold. And I think I've lost my voice in my career twice in a session. One was EverQuest 2. I had to do 15 different voices, so I had to access things I don't usually access because they're painful. And the other one, I was 8.5 months pregnant and I didn't know it, but I refused to take antacid because I was super tough, but all the stomach acid was burning my throat because there was no room in my stomach anymore. Yeah. So yeah. Jen.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I always end up using, I know Anj as a singer and as a Broadway performer wanted to chime in on that, pretend that specifically, but I was going to say, so I studied in school a lot of Kristen Linkletter, so Linkletter method, and she was a professor of ours, and she's primarily known as someone who trains Shakespearean actors. And so she has you do this series of warm-ups that you access like every part of your body from your feet up to your head. And you go through this whole range of where you're supposed to be resonating. Yeah. And I tend, before I do sessions, if I'm doing auditions or if I'm doing a game session where I know I'm going to be all over the place, I'll do a series of link letter warm-ups beforehand, just to make sure that I have access to all the different places and I'm not blasting myself out in a way that I shouldn't, or using my voice where I don't, or I'm not supposed to. And then also from doing Alexander technique breathing, where you're also using your diaphragm tremendously and you're breathing and accessing things and not, you're actually breathing in those proper places and resonating where you're supposed to.
Anjali,
all of the things that everybody is talking about, all of the specific techniques, yes, and yes, more of that. But I doing it regularly cannot be emphasized enough, because it's like going to the gym, and whatever you find that works for you is the thing that works for you, because all of our voices are different. So when I'm doing 8 shows a week, my voice is stronger because I've been rehearsing and then doing 8 shows a week. And so I can handle anything. When I've been sitting around and maybe not talking as loudly or not doing that as much for a while, then the muscles around your throat get out of shape and stuff. So technically it really is just about repetition. And then also being smart and taking care of your voice during the day. For a lot of us which is a hard thing, I spend a lot of time, or I have, not right now, but spent a lot of times late night listening to music and gigs like Jen and stuff like that in places that are not great for your voice. And then your voice, it takes a toll. So I think we do the most damage to our voices actually when we're speaking in loud places than when we're actually doing sessions. Yeah. And that's a big thing. But also, you asked about technique as an actor. And there are so many techniques, and we all just over the course of our careers, if people don't mind me speaking for all of us, because I think it's the case, we all just develop this toolbox. You learn things along the way and you put it in your toolbox, and you learn, and then you use whatever works for whatever session you're in or whatever scene you're doing or whatever play you're doing. So just like life, the more experiences you have, the more tools you have. Mm-hmm. And then you're just like, all right, for this show, I need a screwdriver. For this one, I need a Makita, whatever. And that's the end of that handyman analogy.
You're speaking my language, Anjali.
No, I'm totally saying I'm speaking Hale right now.
Right. There was one other thing I wanted to add to this line of conversation that Boris created here, which is also dial in, imagine it as like a pond. The activity of jumping from lily pad to lily pad is the activity, but you got to pay attention to the pond and the general health of the pond. Is your physical health good? Are you eating things that make your body acidic, therefore make you more vulnerable to illness? Mm-hmm. Are you thinking things? Because our body, the subconscious mind is a computer. It will just execute what you tell it. And if you say, I lose my voice, it goes, okay. I had kidney surgery 2 weeks ago. I had a bunch of kidney stones and they had to take them out for the second time in a year. And I literally did a bunch of kind of subconscious meditations beforehand, where I was, because the doctor was like, I don't know if I can get them both out at once, both sides. I might have to come back. And I'm like, no. And so I literally talked to my kidneys, because look, if sports figures can talk to themselves before they execute any kind of sporty thing, why can't I, with my own healing, with my own body? Like they're all cells. They're not like, I can't hear you because we're not doing a sport. It doesn't work like that, right? So I literally did a visualization of, like a self-hypnosis thing of like, okay, kidneys, hand over the stones, both of you, quickly, easily, give them over. And the doctor had no idea I had done this. And literally he says to my sister after the surgery, because I was asleep, he says, yeah, it was shockingly easy to get those stones out. I was like, so yep. When you're talking to yourself, when you're languaging things like I lose my voice easily, your body's going, okay, cool. I will comply to your wishes. And you want to really set that tone out there. Like and if it's, say it like, I know it sounds like BS because it's like, I'm strong. I never lose my voice. You can say, I'm building a really strong machine that holds up to anything. I'm building, and that'll also help you create the habits. Like I don't miss a workout, because it's important to me. It's my commitment to myself, and I don't flake on myself. You can say things like that to yourself.
I just want to add to what Jennifer just said about talking to your body. Your body does not know what is a real thing that's actually happening, or whether it's you just speaking to it, but it will respond in a chemical reaction kind of way, because it's like, as actors, when you go into this, whether it's a rage scene or you're really emotional and you're sad, your body doesn't know that it's not real. And so hormonally, the endorphins, the cortisol, everything whatever it is that's responding to that emotion gets released. And so your body gets into that state. And if it's not a great emotion that you're holding on to, that makes you kind of susceptible, and your immune system kind of susceptible. So that's why, as actors, I feel like most of us were able to let go of those emotions after we've done the job. But leading up to, it's really important to have that positive mental energy, and like you said, to work out. And I learned the really hard way through. I'm really nervous right now. I'm sorry. This is my first panel, so I'm like.
Oh, you're doing great, Jeannie.
You're amazing. I never would have guessed it was your first.
Panel is always.
On this point, I've got family out there right now. Hey, Jason. Yeah. But yeah, when you go into the booth and you've got lines that you haven't seen before, because for the most part, it's NDA. You're not going to see that because it's super secretive. And then you realize, oh, I'm doing all these grunts and yelling and screaming, especially in video games. I went into one session and I hadn't prepared for that. I did a very light vocal exercise, but your larynx and all the muscles around your neck, they tighten up. And they just make it really, really hard for you to recover, which is probably why I think we have these sessions that are spaced out. We might have 2 sessions a week, as opposed to you've got 7 days of work coming in. They're not going to line them up consecutively, because, all of those production companies, they know what's what. And it's just a thing where you have to recover, because your body goes through this amazing trauma, essentially. We're doing it for the good of getting video games out there, getting animation out there, but your body just goes through my brother just messaged me. Your body goes through this thing where it's like being at the gym in itself, and we're focused for potentially 4 hours of this dialogue that has to sound a specific way. So I don't know if you guys will feel the same, that it is like an intense workout in this condensed
I'll come out of a session and I'll be dizzy. I'll literally be dizzy and unable to focus for a couple hours because of the intensity of because we're creating a life and a world, and what we do in anywhere from 1 to 7, 8 takes goes to market. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's been no, I mean, I don't know about you. Most games, you don't get the script ahead of time. There's no preparation. You just have to surrender. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is so funny. I think, Jeannie, because of your perspective and where you're coming from and your experience, it's reminding me of conversations I've had with other people, which is that the recovery thing, or the taking what we need, the people on the other side of the glass don't always know what, and for you fans out there, this is like an inside the fishbowl thing, don't always know what it takes to do what we do physically, and physically especially. And it's our job to say, hold on, I need to save that for later, or we got to come in strong. We got to get professional and do what we do, but we also have to speak up and not just go, I'm just glad to be here. I'll trash myself. You can't do that, because it doesn't just wreck you. It wrecks all of us, because you've just created an unrealistic expectation that we're all going to trash ourselves. And they don't even know you're trashing yourself because you're not saying anything. You're like, no, I'm tough. I'm good. You can't do that. Yeah.
You got to take care of yourself.
And value
yourself.
yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. What he said.
Well, great advice from both from Jan and all the ladies. It's true. Your body is the ultimate thing. This role is what helped propel me to quit smoking cigarettes, stuff like that. I quit smoking cigarettes about 5.5, 6 years now, was right after we did Roadhog, because I realized I can't continue to do this and smoke. And And eating right. God, that is so true, Jen, when you say about the acidic foods, because every time we do exertions, I get the hiccups. Like every single time in the booth we do exertions, I'm like, yeah, like that. So it's like eat a banana, eat something really contentious for your stomach. I know we all love coffee. Coffee is like horrible to drink before a session. It's really bad. Drink some room temperature water.
These are hot water.
Exactly. See, eat a
I will
banana
never give up my coffee.
and have some lettuce.
I'm with you, Johnny. I can't live without my coffee.
Me
Can't
either.
do it.
Gotta have
Yeah,
it.
me neither.
We're not doing a session. Right?
Wah, wah, yeah.
I feel like one of the big overarching things is that not everybody realizes that this is a 24-hour a day profession, whether you're voice acting, stage acting, film acting, whatever, because you have to make sure that this instrument is available to do all of the things you need it to do when it's needed to be done. And on any given day, it could be something completely different. So you have to sort of be like a decathlete and ready. Like one day you might have to sing, one day you might have to do a voice session, one day you might have to do theater, one day you might have to do multiple things in the same day.
Motion capture.
So be ready, y'all.
You know what? And I think the balance of that is boundaries. You have to have, we're so used to going, make hay while the sun shines, say yes all the time. We have to have boundaries around to take care of ourselves and to set expectations, again, not just for ourselves, but to create a culture that's a culture of, no, we take care of each other. We take care of ourselves and we take care of each other. Because without that, we're trashing each other and trashing ourselves and creating those horrible expectations that run us into the ground.
Sorry, on another note, there's breaking news. Roadhog is now a thing.
I was just gonna say that. Lucie. I've been watching. It's great.
Oh my God! That's,
you okay over there, David? Are you doing good?
Also, there's been another really funny comment. Jen Hale, there was a comment that said, "How do you get 8.5 months pregnant without realizing it?" And what you were saying is that you hadn't realized that your stomach acid was affecting your throat. You didn't know you were 8 months pregnant.
Oh no, I was incredibly aware and super excited.
That being said, it does happen, but that's another topic.
Yes.
Look it up.
Yes.
That was a whole show on TLC, I think.
It was.
It is a show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually knew somebody that happened to. So yeah, it's legit.
8.5? I knew 2 people who got as far as 5 months, but 8.5 is far.
Really?
I knew somebody that carried it to term.
Right there.
Yeah,
Didn't know until it
exactly.
Wow.
Carry it to term, yeah.
Dude.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
But the magical thing, because we were talking about the body and how we can talk to our body and how it has its own intelligence. When that happens, okay, this panel is going wherever, but
It's okay. That's what these panels are.
crazy
Go where it needs to
thing.
go. I mean, remember the times we're in, right?
Yeah. But the crazy thing that happens is that when a woman, so in French, it's called pregnancy denial. I don't know what it's called in English. But basically, if a woman finds out, like, doesn't realize for some reason that she's pregnant until like 7-8 months, typically she won't necessarily have a baby bump. It won't show. She'll still have like her period and stuff. And then the minute she finds out, suddenly the stomach like pops open, like the body adjusts immediately, just based on the fact that awareness has come up, like risen.
I'm telling you,
Isn't it fascinating?
You ask any athlete, they're going to agree with you. They're going to get this because it's innate for them. I mean, they live it, right? It's their deal. They just don't, it's so second nature. They don't language it. They're just like, yeah. Yeah.
Overwatch pregnancy panel.
Things you never knew about Overwatch.
Amanda, take over, Amanda.
Okay. I mean, I was really
I
interested. I thought it was a fascinating
pregnant once.
topic.
It turns out it was just I had the extra guac. At Chipotle. It was a bit too much.
Personally, I thought that was all really cool information. I really enjoyed hearing everything. But Anjali, especially, you'd mentioned, the importance of doing things to shape you as an actor, like how you do like outside activities. What are some things you guys like to do that are, not acting related? Because, like Jen, I know you have your fashion. Jennifer, I swear, what do you not do? Because that's freaking amazing. What are some things you guys like to do and how you really feel that shapes you as an actor?
Go outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I missed the question.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Chloe. I was just asking kinds of activities you like to do outside of acting that really you feel it's important to do things that are not just acting. Because, if you do the same thing nonstop, you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to have anything to really push you forward. What kind of things do you like to do? Just other activities and how it shapes you as an actor?
I'm seconding what you said, Jennifer, as being outside, especially for me. And I never expected that this would be a thing. When I started rock climbing, it made such a huge difference. I know you're with my girl, and it's killing me that we can't do it right now. And you too, Jeannie. I know Jeannie climbs too, because there's so much, it's such a very specific moving meditation and the level of focus you have to have. And there is only one rule, which is don't die, which is a pretty easy rule to follow unless, something horrible happens with your equipment. So the level of focus that you have to have and the level of calm that you have to have and the level of presence that you have to be able to do it is really, really helpful, because we don't have a lot of opportunities, especially in today's world, to do something where we're not being bothered by this thing and there's nobody coming at us. But up there on the wall or on the mountain or on the cliff, it's such a just the level of focus right there where it's the same thing as what I feel like I love having the opportunity to attain when I'm in a scene with someone else.
You're making me miss it so much. Yeah. And also you get some pretty great sounds out of it. I was leading a really simple climb as a warm-up one time, just in a gym. And I went to clip like right near the top, and I was right at the bolt, and that's when you can fall the farthest. And I guess my foothold wasn't that strong, and I fell, and I did a stupid thing, and I pushed off the wall. So I went backwards and upside down, and I made some kind of a sound. So even as I'm terrified and falling, I'm like, oh, I got to remember that sound.
Right? And also the quick thinking that you develop because of climbing as well. I remember once, and this is, I'm not proud of how this moment happened, but I'm proud of how we handled it. I was belaying someone, which is basically when you're the person on the ground when you're climbing and you're holding the rope for the person up top. And he outweighed me, which is not really hard to do. And he fell and he started coming down and I started going up. Yeah. And so while holding on to the other end of the rope and making sure it was anchored down so neither one, the rope didn't go through the gree-gree, as we met up, I grabbed onto him to stop us and then pushed him towards the wall and then gradually let myself down.
Girl, that was amazing.
And that is something like, that's not something that you're when you can push down all your fear instincts and just be in the moment like that, then you can kind of you can trust yourself to handle anything.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And it reminded me of it's such a rabbit hole, but one time I was leading a climb on it was an angle like this, but it was slab. There was nothing to grab. And did we lost somebody? We just changed. Nothing to grab. And I was climbing with somebody new, and she was really having a bad day. And she was belaying me. And I go up and I get to the first bolt, which is about 12 feet up. And I have no draws. I have nothing to clip in. I am 12 feet up and now I got nothing. I don't have any way to anchor myself. So I have to climb down slab. Mm-hmm. And you talk about it doesn't sound that bad, but Jesus, in the moment, you're like, and just the grit of like, oh, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And the talking to yourself
all day until the fire department comes,
You guys are freaking amazing. You guys are wild. My God.
You guys ever
you live in a big
yeah. Wow. See, I'm a big believer in artist dates, like a la Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. For those of you who haven't read it before, there's this wonderful book called The Artist's Way by this writer, Julia Cameron. And one of the things that she recommends that people do in any creative field is to regularly take yourself out on an artist date. And that means any kind of creative input that you're looking for. You just have to find something that would turn you on that day. And it's time that you spend with yourself. It could be going to a museum. It could be seeing a show. It could be seeing a concert. It could be taking a walk in a field. It could be anything like that to just get your synapses meeting and get your juices flowing. And first, it's this idea of prioritizing yourself and making that time for yourself. I mean, I have a husband and a child and a career and I'm streaming and I'm doing all of these things. So making that time and carving it out where it's not about my phone and it's not about work and it's not about my family. It's purely for me to be fed and feel like I'm doing something that will get something new happening is really exciting. And inevitably, I do have some new idea, and it ends up going into my work as an actress. It ends up going into my work in fashion. It ends up going into my stream. It ends up going into all of these things. But I love these adrenaline junkies we have here. You guys,
Well, you know what's so funny is what you're talking about, I find intimidating. You know, I find that intimidating. Yeah. To carve out that level of time for myself is nearly impossible.
But you know what? You are carving it out by taking yourself climbing. I mean, it's the same. You're getting yourself into that same place and getting your mind into that same open place where you're open to these new connections.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, taking the time just to ride the bike this morning instead of drive my kid over was heaven. Yeah.
I get it.
Amanda, we're off track again.
No, you're not. You are right on. You are on the track it's supposed to be. So, the characters in Overwatch, totally like different track now. The characters in Overwatch all have just really in-depth backstories. When you were first recording, did you know any of that lore? Or when did you kind of find that out?
I did. I had that great fortune. They had a, I mean, there was some that developed as we went along, but they had a wonderfully fleshed out backstory for Ashe and especially along the, they didn't tell me everything because there's more to come, I think. So, yeah. I'm going to stop talking now because I can get into NDA territory. I will not go there.
I didn't find out that Pharah's mother was a character in Overwatch until I found out I was meeting Ashe at BlizzCon. Like I didn't know anything. When we first recorded it, all I had, when we first recorded it, because she was one of the first characters, I had a picture of her. I got to see like an animatic of her in movement, like just her motion. I was told that she was, think of her as being Captain America. She's Captain America. I had no sense of backstory or any of the rest, and it all became revealed to me just through the text. So no, I did not go in knowing any of that.
Yeah, I knew straight away, but because the first thing that I ever recorded was the Widowmaker cinematic, and so everything, that's actually what I auditioned with, I believe, and then that was the first thing that I basically dove into. So they had to tell me all the fact that she had been brainwashed and the fact that she had lost the love of her life and all these things. And I'm really grateful because there are actually so few lines in that cinematic. I feel that without all that information, it would have been so easy to kind of, I don't know, to make it less textured than it finally was. So yeah, very helpful.
I didn't know anything really about the character's background when I joined. I just was so oblivious to everything. So that was really fun finding out more as we went along and finding out stuff from fans and being like, oh, really? Yeah, so I joined a little bit later than some of the others on here. But since there hadn't been a short for Mercy and the comics hadn't come out either, it was kind of vague. Everything was kind of vague. We knew that there was this like dark history with her parents, but not much more than that. So I love finding out like in real time with the fans. I think that's really fun. And getting really excited when they come out with new Mercy lore.
Yeah, it's funny, when I started recording Sombra, which was only 3 months before she came out, I think they'd said it was for Overwatch, but every time I've worked on a video game, the code name is different. So even if you Google it, you're not going to find anything. So I didn't even Google Overwatch to know what it was, because I thought it was going to be this fake thing, you know? And what really surprised me was the ARG they did for Sombra, which I didn't know what that was. And then people started asking. Apparently they teased Sombra to the gamers, the Overwatch community, since the beginning of Overwatch coming out. So that was 8 months of like, you've got this secret hacker and you don't know who she is. And so that's why when they revealed her at BlizzCon, people were very excited because they'd been teasing her for a while, which was crazy exciting for me because I didn't know people were expecting her. I thought it was just going to be, okay, we're launching this new character and nobody knows. But there was a lot of hype before that. So that was super exciting.
We have time for, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The one thing that I was really happy that I didn't actually know, like I knew about Symmetra's backstory and about how she developed her skills and everything, but I didn't know that she was on the spectrum until very close to when it was confirmed that she was on the spectrum. And I was so grateful for that, because the qualities now I look back and I realize her attention to detail, her frustration with disorder, all of those things, the qualities that manifest themselves, or the qualities of her being on the spectrum that are manifested that way, had nothing to do with what we think of as someone on the spectrum. So she has become this wonderful depiction in pop culture and in the world of someone who's on the spectrum, who has been able to work with her both abilities and then challenges to make herself even more powerful or more specific or more able to do certain things that the rest of us can't. And so I was really, really grateful that they didn't make that a main part of her origin story in the beginning, because then when it was shared, people now who are on the spectrum have this vision of someone who is that capable and who has managed to take something that is a challenge and turn it into a strength.
Well, I know there's a few of us who still remain mysterious. Oh.
Poor Josh. By the way, sorry, I'm sorry.
Is it the shorts? What? It's just a man climbing an arm.
Great movie.
Backdrop with no shirt on.
There are a few of us. I want to say probably Theo and I can relate to this, that there's not a ton of information in terms of backstory specifically tailored to us. We're kind of background. Well, maybe more so Roadhog, not so Theo with the Iris thing. But we haven't learned more about Zenyatta's peaceful origins, and we haven't learned more why Roadhog and Junkrat robbed the jewels. And we just kind of get bits and pieces. And I think that's something that was really powerful about the game, was just it allowed a lot of fans to create their own theories and guess and wonder what happened. When we originally went in to do Roadhog, we didn't have much in terms of a backstory other than, like, in the beginning, they were like, he's just a psycho and he wears a mask and he has this Ozzy Osbourne sidekick named Junkrat he can't stand. Ready, go. So that was really fun. And I guess the coolest thing is watching the backstories develop and unfold. Stories like Soldier 76, Tracer, Widowmaker, Ashe, all of these, Symmetra, and Sombra, they all kind of correlate with one another. I think that's the true magic of the game. So,
yeah.
I will say really quickly that I did get to watch the Route 66. I guess it came out 2 years ago with McCree and Ashe. I did get to watch that. They sat me down before I did my first break session. And then they did show me some cinematics of the origin bio story animation. I'm not too sure what you guys call it, but and I remember thinking, oh gosh, all right, she's already been established. This is, and there was a voice for her that was done by a Blizzard employee, I think. But it was really helpful to know where she came from, that she was the intention of Dr. Liao, to make right in the world. And that was really helpful. And I carry that with me whenever I voice Echo, which is why I'm always like, she's so positive. She's got, it's the bigger picture. It's making this world a better place and to do good. So for me, that was just really cool because I feel like that's a huge part of what I relate to Echo. And I think most of us want that, right? We want a better world and we want it to be a more peaceful place. So I was really lucky to have that. And then everybody else's bio stories, the animations, I watched them recently. I binge watched them on Sunday afternoon and was just blown away by them. And it also informed me because I'm so new to all of this sorry, my husband's having a conversation in the other room. What? I'm live on a panel.
Millions of people are watching. Wow.
Millions of people.
Millions.
I have a question for you, Janine. I have a question.
Jeannie.
That was the worst. I was just reading her
That
name.
was the question.
Yeah, is that your name?
In Hollywood,
Frank, what do you want to know?
Who's your favorite character to copy?
Mercy. Oh my God, really?
I mean, they were all great. A lot of them were very challenging.
But Mercy was the best.
Yeah. I can tell you who was the most difficult.
Who?
Oh.
Genji.
Oh, gee.
Imagine why.
Lucy, I love that you just had that right there. That's hilarious.
Always. I never go anywhere without my
handbag.
I have a little bag and I carry it around with me and I talk to him. How are you today?
The whole room just became more colorful. It's amazing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
When are you sending me the Boris pillow? The Boris body pillow.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, not
So you
Sigma.
can mix and
It's
match.
Boris. There's actually an actual
Yes,
Boris.
pillow. Yeah.
The Boris
Yeah.
pillow. Please.
Just his little feet.
Boris pillow.
Just his little feet. Oh,
What is that?
feet.
Feet.
Just his feet.
Just his little naked feet.
I
Yep.
love it.
It's on its
Here's
way.
another question to follow up on that. When they had you do those lines, did they obviously played you the original line? And by the way, you did an amazing job with everybody, I must say. So we all tip our hats to you. You did a great job. You did a great job.
Yes.
Here's some little gamer knowledge. She says Roadhog's line, but I think you say it with some of the other characters, but you don't say it with me. And I was just wondering if that was if that was a design thing, or were they like, you know what, you say it better than Josh. Screw him. We don't need him anymore.
They emailed me and they said that you do it so well. We're not going to use mine because we've always wanted to replace it. So no. I have no idea. Why, because they do. I feel like they put a slight effect. Obviously, she's got an affected voice. But I did notice, while watching, because I'm more of a watcher than a player. But while watching them, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's my voice. I can hear that, and then I can hear a little bit of, whether it's Sombra or Widowmaker. But the ones where it just sounds like me, I don't know. I thought they were going to merge our voices ever so slightly, all of us. So I don't know. That's a sound design tech question.
We'll find an answer one day and we'll share it with the world.
So we have time for one more question from me, and then we're going to start doing audience questions. So we're going to end it on kind of a fun note from me. If your character had to team up with another character, who would it be and why?
Sneaky.
I know.
The team up question, and how are we teaming up?
Yeah,
I'm going to go Roadhog for the sheer destruction.
Yeah.
You can team up doing whatever you guys want to do. You guys can be shopping buddies. You guys can be fighting.
Oh, shopping
Well,
buddies. I like that.
shopping buddies.
But wait, I want everybody.
Yes.
Don't make me sick.
Yeah, that's hard.
Sorry. Shopping buddy would definitely be Widowmaker because she's
Yeah.
friends.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Am
because
I
she has so
chopped
much
liver?
style.
Oh my God. Terrible.
Yeah, we'd all have to shop with her.
Okay, well, that would be
I am
annoying.
the
I don't think
ultimate
Widowmaker
shopping
would
buddy.
embrace that. I think she'd be like, leave me alone. I've got work.
Perfect.
I think Roadhog and Ashe would be a killer combo too. That would be a really killer combo. So I'm down with that. We'll bring Bob out and make
At
him
which
hold the
point we
hook.
start with burn it all down.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Gosh, the chat has been asking for they want Junkrat and Roadhog to sing Hakuna Matata in the chat. I thought that was really funny.
I will not say another word until this happens.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
I actually think Sigma and Lucio are an interesting little combo. Anytime a Sigma's playing, I'm always like, thank goodness. But also because of the music, right? Lucio would just be playing a lot of music, and Sigma would just be like, what is that melody? Over and over again.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Then let's do that, because you could bring a bit of positivity into my life, and I can bring a little bit of, well, I can make you win, actually.
That.
True.
Sassy.
He can bring you some shoes.
Yes, some shoes fresh from
The
Sao Paulo.
rollerblades.
Yeah, the rollerblade shoes.
Rollerblades.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Widowmaker and Zarya would be fun because they both believe they're the strongest women in the world. They'd have a lot to talk about.
I like it.
Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake.
Right.
Good choice.
That's so close to home right now. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
I think Echo would have a lot of fun. I don't know if he'd be destroying things, but with Lucio, because you know, he said like the music and the boombox and the rollerblades. It would just be like, I don't know. I can imagine him going down to Venice Boardwalk and
Nice.
sit down and over and having lots of positivity on everybody. So
Can we get that as an emote for Echo? What you just did? Let's break it down. I want that as her dance emote. I like it. Yeah, I like Josh.
I dig it. I thought it was the cutest thing when I heard you say, "Oh, let's break it down." I felt very first attacked, then like, "Oh, that's so cool."
All right, well, let's go ahead and start looking at audience questions. First one I've got from the audience. If you could play a different character in Overwatch other than your own, who would it be?
I always have to clarify this question. When is it with the actual voice that we have, or is it just in any dream world where we can play anyone?
You know, it doesn't specify, so I'm going to guess with the voice you have. But you know what? If you wanted to make it dream world, that's fine too.
With the voice I have, I would say Anna, and with the voice I wish I had, either Roadhog or Reinhardt, because I want those big voices to come out of this little body.
Yes.
I want that big Reinhardt crazy voice to come out of.
Throw me your shield.
Yes, exactly. Reinhardt. Ah! Like I want to be that guy. That looks like it.
I want to be Junkrat. I love Junkrat. Today's a good day for some mayhem. Like,
Yes, great.
like that. Like he's so much fun. Oh my God. But with the voice that I have, Widow, Chloe, it would be you with the one that I have. Yes, of course.
I dig. I mean, McCree's voice is very nice, and he has this one line that I love. It's very simple. Is when he stuns you, he goes, "Easy." It's like you're taming a horse. I love it. It's so every time I get stunned, I'm like, "Hey, man, that's pretty cool, though."
I'd be Genji, I think. I think.
Today.
But I love having a sword.
Oh, fair. Sweet. Pretty cool.
That's my reason.
Oh man. Don't make me pick.
I know.
Maybe Mercy.
Stop.
Yeah. Lucy always says she would be Widowmaker, so I feel like at least once I have to say that I would definitely pick Mercy.
Well, I always say I would want to be a Widowmaker because I could walk around eating croissants today and do it. But I have to say I would love to do Ashe just because as an immigrant, it's like such a like cool embodiment of this like American, like cowgirl world that I would love to dig into that I've never like would never trust myself to be able to pull off probably because I'd be like, I'm an immigrant, I'm a fraud, I can't really do this. And then any voice, I think I'd do Roadhog, yeah. Because that bacon line, I think Mercy should have that bacon line.
Oh.
Now, say bacon one more time.
I confess that there have been moments around the house with my dog Charlie where I've gone, say bacon one more time. And then I do Charlie's voice and I go, bacon, 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 bacon. So when I talk to my dog, you are there with us.
By the way, a fan sent me a video of me at a Comic-Con being asked what character would I want to see in Overwatch like 2 years ago. And I basically describe Echo. So I think
Oh, wow.
I think the world needs to know.
Well done.
Well done, Lulu.
Nice.
Great answers. Great
I'm going to
answers there.
sue for copyright.
Whose voice?
Carolina, we haven't heard from you.
Well, I love Junkrat, but I also love Zarya. So I'd love I want to hug you like big fuzzy Siberian bear. Or Siberian, I don't know how she say, but like that.
That's a great one.
I love Zarya too.
And I don't.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That line actually took a few goes to get as well. Because I don't speak Russian.
You don't speak all our languages?
No.
I mean, we assumed that's why you were hired. Because
I speak all of them.
Every language, and that's why they cast you.
So when they told me, I was like, what do I have to do? I think I'm going to go with Roadhog for that. Right? But I would love to be able to channel that voice, Josh. And then Widowmaker, just because it's like what Chloe said, she's got this really sweet voice, but with so much venom to it. And yeah, I would love to do that too. So.
Well, if there was a voice in my range, I think I would probably have to do, the Crusader himself. It wouldn't, you know what I mean? We'd have to do.
You're killing me.
It would be Daddy Reinhardt. Reinhardt. I have a funny story. We're sitting at the Blizzard HQ, one BlizzCon signing for the development team, and it's me, Matt Mercer, and Darren DePaul McCree, and he starts doing like the live line in the tent, and Darren is the kind of guy that he never goes soft. It's like always 100, a million miles an hour. And so he does the Crusader online. And me and Matt looked at each other like, oh my God. Like Matt looked at me like, that sounded like it really hurt, Josh. Like, I'm concerned. And if I could like tone the voice down, I would want to do. I'm jealous of the Lucio, man. Oh, this thing's gonna do great, bro. Like,
Hi.
Let's break it down.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm like selling like peanuts on Nickelodeon or something. Like, somebody's on Nick. Oh, sweet.
Gosh, I bet you do a good Soldier 76.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not your dad, and I got some steaks on the grill. Like Fred Tatasciore, shout out to our boy Fred.
Yay, Fred.
Shout out Fred, amazing guy.
So the
Fair.
audience wants to know, is there anything you would like to change about your character?
More story.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
we all
I
want
was
more
gonna
story.
say.
Where's my
Yes.
Netflix special?
Cinematic. I need a cinematic.
Poor Josh got a cinematic and has
No.
one
I
line.
have one line. I got this. It was literally Junkrat ranting and raving, singing songs, dancing. And then at the end, I just the end. And so but you know what? A man of few words is a man who doesn't make mistakes. So.
Ooh,
I like that.
Okay. I want to know what's behind the mask.
I know. I think. Well, then they give us weird hints. Like, does he have the face like a cow? Because then they do skins like Toxic when it's just like a cow skull in like a fishbowl, and you're like, oh, all right. Like, is he a mutant? Is he a human being? Did he suffer unknown burning to his face? Was he known as Cremation Man before? Like, I don't know. That's the coolest part about Roadhog with the mask. I said this at BlizzCon, and Michael Chu was like, "Oh, that was really good." I said, "Roadhog wears the mask sometimes to hide from the world, and sometimes the world wears the mask to hide from Roadhog."
You guys, I miss you all so much. This is such a fun panel.
This is a great panel.
It
A great time.
You know,
All right.
next best thing. If we all have to keep each other safe, this is the way to do it.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
So Jennifer, how do you feel about Ashe and McCree's relationship? And do you think they'll work together in Overwatch 2? Don't mess with any NDAs. You know,
All right.
only say what you can.
As an actor, I love it. As Ashe, I'm going to kill him. And I sure hope we do. I sure hope we get some Overwatch 2 stories going on.
All right. Audience wants to know any tips you have for people new to voice acting.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're filled with them.
There is a wonderful website called I Want to Be a... Is it I or you? Someone?
It's I Want to Be a Voice. I've been on that site myself.
I had a
site.
Google D. Bradley
I want to be a voiceactor.com, which is D. Bradley Baker, our wonderful Hammond the hamster. He has this wonderful website with tons of resources on there. Also, Crispin Freeman has his wonderful website, which is Voice Acting Mastery. And those two places will give you so many resources to get started, and way more than we could possibly do in this panel.
Mm-hmm. And I would just love to add that you just take those two websites and you create a set of habits that supports that. Like, you show up every day and you do the reading out loud and you do the listening back. And I don't care if you do it for 5 minutes or an hour would be a lot in the beginning, but just 10 minutes a day, 5-10 minutes a day. You do that, you're going to get there every day. You're going to get there. You just have to show up. You have to put in the time and you have to do the work.
Yeah. And I would just add that also, besides doing the work, there's no recipe or no one set way to get to where you want to go. Everybody has their own path. Don't look at other people. Do the work and keep, going for what you want, but don't worry about how other people got there.
That's such a great point, Lucie. Also, eyes on your own paper. Don't judge yourself and do not compare yourself, because there's only one of you. And, copy us all day long. Steal with love. Like, do your version of what I do and your version of what everybody else does. That's how you'll find some of your voices, and your characters and your beings. But of course, take acting classes and singing lessons like we were talking about. But honor your own path and your own voice and never judge yourself. Learn how to assess your skills without judging yourself.
Yeah, I would never have bet on me getting a role like the one of Widowmaker, especially when I got it. I was like 26 or 27. I did not feel like that kind of femme fatale, whatever, like in the least. And I did the audition and I was very happy to do it. But I was like, yeah, that's probably for someone else. So you just never know. Like, thank God I wasn't the one, assessing that. So.
Voice acting is a career when you're going to hear no a lot. So get used to hearing no and never take it personally. Never let it define you. the wonderful Jen Hale is such a beacon of light for this too. So everything she says, just listen to her too. So,
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I want to throw something. Thank you so much, Josh. That's very kind. I want to throw something practical out there. And what you said about not taking things personally is brilliant. There's going to be times, I've been in this business for 38 years. There's going to be times when you're in fashion, times when you're out of fashion. It's not personal. It's not you. You keep doing what you're doing and they'll come back around to you. It's not your business. Stop. Don't do that. And when you're in fashion, save your dang money. Okay? Because when you're out of fashion, you're not going to have it. You need to live below your means, save your money, put it away so that when you're not in fashion, you still feel like that free creative person and you get to be you and do your thing. And you can't put the part of us that does this job is the little creative inner kid part of us. And then you got to split yourself into the one who does the creative job and then the one who does the adulting. And you must adult. You do not get to get off the hook for adulting anywhere with your money, with your life, with your accountability, with your voting, any of it. Because the minute you dump your adulting, you just shoved it onto somebody else. And I, for one, am not going to carry it. So take care of yourself in that way.
And it doesn't have to be
Here.
all or nothing. You don't have to be just, you don't have to be just a voice actor and that's all you are. I think all of us do lots of different things, right? So don't, it's good to specialize and to know what you're good at and stick with that and really keep hammering that and become this person that can do this thing and becomes known for doing that thing. But you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You can do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I think you guys do a lot more of it than I do, but I'm lucky to have a completely different career outside of voice acting, which I love. And so this is like a real fun. I mean, I'm very dedicated still. I'm very passionate about it, and I take it very seriously. But it's like a fun. It's like an extra thing that I do, and but I have another completely different life aside from the voice acting.
Oh my God!
So that can work out too.
And Boris, you just reminded me of this most amazing thing. Listen, COVID is hard. It's hard. We're living through unprecedented times. Mother Nature has sent a tiny, tiny little invisible thing just out into the world. So we've all been sent to our rooms to think about what we've done, right? Mm-hmm. It's an amazing time to get off the treadmill and take back how we define ourselves. Mm-hmm. We've been, and pay attention to how much a nose ring has been put in you by the commercial world. You're not enough unless you have this. You're not unless you have that, unless you do that, unless you are this thing. Just stop, because we have an unprecedented opportunity to stop and listen to the very insides of ourselves. Maybe I want to be 6 things. Maybe I want to be nothing. Maybe the trades are calling. Maybe art is calling. Maybe doing nothing. For me, doing very little except taking care of myself and this house and my kid is calling me, and I just go with it. I let go of all the shoulds and the ought tos because they're not mine. They're all that machine that stole us when we were little, so we'd consume and feed the bottom line of the profit of the people whose net worth has gone almost to the trillions while the rest of the population has gone down. It is a rare opportunity we have to take it back, and we take it back first in here. So that's my soapbox.
Nice.
Well said.
All right, next audience question is, and that was wonderful. Thank you so much. Voice actors, can you still record lines in games during this time? Or do you have to record them on your own and send them to the company that you're acting for? I imagine you guys all have like home studios right now. Jennifer, yours is right there.
Mine's halfway there, but upstairs I have
an
furniture
amazing
pads and carpet
time.
strips.
Yeah.
For all of us and for the whole industry, it's been completely amazing. I mean, the minute that this struck, I feel like everyone in the industry was told, like, if you don't have a pro broadcast ready set up right now, do it. And everyone did. I mean, and a lot of people had it already, but a lot of people didn't. And most people now are in shape to record from home. And Lucie and I were just talking about this, and Caro and I were just talking about this. I think that this is going to revolutionize the whole industry. I think it's going to change the whole game, because if everyone can record from home, it's going to make us all much more mobile. I think it's going to really hurt recording studios, which stinks because I love going to a studio. I love working with an engineer. But yeah, all of us, I mean, I think everyone who I've spoken to who's here has been working from home. So it's pretty amazing. And the fact that technology, that we're so fortunate, I'm so grateful that we're so fortunate if we have to have a pandemic and all be locked in at home, that the gear exists, that we can all continue working at home, that we are all in an industry where that's possible and where technology has allowed it. I mean, if this had happened 10 or 12 years ago, you would have had to spend tens of thousands to make it possible to do it. And the fact that it's happening right now and at a price point that most people who are in this industry can swing and we all can work at home is just a gift. So I'm very grateful.
You just made a really important point, Jen, which is that every time I've been working through a studio. I go Source Connect because I will not engineer, because it splits my focus between my performance and being an engineer, and it cuts somebody out of a job.
Mhm.
We're not being compensated for being engineers, because I'm a
Very
horrible
true.
engineer. I would
Very
never
true.
be as an engineer.
Yes.
So I think it's important that we all take that stand. Like, no. These people are still really important. The way they do it is different. Like, they go to the studio and nobody's there, but we were doing that all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we stand as a group and say, and when if there's going to be a learning curve, and we've had to say to producers on several occasions, like, when the job's booked, I'm not an engineer. You need one of those.
Mhm.
And when people forget, I'm like, oh, it's going to be awful if I do that. You don't want it, and we just have to stand as a unified group and say, no, it works this way, because these people are really important.
But things like, I mean, I've been told again and again through this, that now when you're being cast, you used to just be concerned about getting the vocal quality right, or about having a good enough recording to be competitive. But now, what are they listening for? What is your room tone?
Yeah.
Does it sound like something that can be used for broadcast? I mean, that's a very, very different thing. And I've had a couple of jobs where I've had to adjust the gain and things that I never have had to think about before. It's changed tremendously.
And this is something. This is something that's been going on, though, in the arts pretty consistently over the last decade as well, because it's been, even before COVID, it was changing for film actors, that we all have to put ourselves on tape instead of going into the room. So everybody is having to learn a completely separate set of skills and then play both roles, which is a really, really tricky thing to do. And as per what Jen said earlier, that's almost part of the adulting, is being able to be the artist, but also be like, nope, this is how things are changing. So I have to go with it.
Yes.
I have to find a way to learn this thing. I can complain about it, or I can do it. And if you do it, you get to work.
I think another piece of the adulting, I think you're absolutely right. I agree with that completely. And we also have to deal with boundaries. Like, I will do this, but that is not my skill set. And there's an incredible group of people who are our peers, and they're part of our team. And we're not going to eliminate them because corporate sees a chance to take out a level of jobs.
Yes.
No,
yes.
That's not happening.
I'm with you. No, I agreed 100%.
Yeah.
So that was great. That was really cool. Next question, totally different topic. What is one of the most creative or amazing Overwatch cosplays you have seen so far?
Caro and Anjali.
Yay!
Absolutely.
And we must say, though, they were made by Melanie Jasmine and Kelton Ching. Like, we just put them on, but they did all of it. So
all of the work, like all those the prosthetics that took 3 hours to put on, was all Kelton, and Melanie made part of it, and Kelton made part. It's amazing. The things that cosplayers do by themselves, I don't know how they do it. I can barely dress myself in the morning, and these guys are like putting on giant Winston rigs and Orisa, and I don't know if it was I think Caro and I were in Australia when we saw this giant Orisa that was incredible. And like, how getting all 4 of her legs to work. And I mean, we've all seen so many cool ones. The Pharahs have been incredible.
Right.
Oh yeah, the Pharahs.
Yeah. Outrageous.
There's actually a great video. Let me pimp out another thing. There's a great video right now with a bunch of cosplayers doing the Don't Rush challenge with the brush that some of us also participated in. But there are so many epic cosplays by these cosplayers in it. If you look it up online, there's a guy who did Winston after the fact too. Like, there's just so many amazing things, and they're doing them at home right now during COVID.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I think I've seen more lady Roadhogs.
Spend 3-4 hours getting dressed and doing makeup, and then you take your pictures, then you go, right.
Or
Better
you
get
go
on with
around-
it.
Or
Take
you
all this
do what
stuff
I
off
wanted
again.
to do, or you do what I wanted to do when we did the dragon and the rhyme, and just be like, I'm just gonna hang on to that. I'm just gonna wear this for a while. This feels good.
You guys
Yeah.
set the bar unreachably high. It's like no one will.
True.
Theo made a good point. Theo was saying, and I think we cut him off.
I've seen more lady Roadhogs than regular.
Yeah.
That is true. I have
You
seen.
know what I mean? I don't know why.
I think so too. I think that's the coolest part is that he's kind of a gender bend character that anyone can play him. You know,
was it Utah where we saw the pregnant
the pregnant woman experience, and you said experience fertility. You said
I think I said pass out of the iris.
Yeah, pass out of the iris.
I think all of the voice actors should cosplay their characters at least once. And I do believe that all of our characters can be gender cosplayed for sure.
Yes. Event. Yes.
I love seeing Mercios. Mercios?
Mercios.
One of my favorite Mercy cosplays, though, was this like really intricate one, amazing wings. She couldn't turn around because she would poke people's eyes out, and everything was just perfect and amazing. And then she was holding this like Starbucks coffee cup. And I love that. It looked so cool. But yeah, I always feel bad for the Mercy cosplayers because they can't sit down, they can't
walk sideways.
They have these
Scratch their back. It's terrible. These giant wings. Like
yeah, I'm dying to cosplay Mercy. Michael Chu assured me that the boobs are all armor, so I think I can pull it off, guys.
I haven't seen many Echo, obviously, because she's newer, even though she's kind of been around for a couple of years. But there's this one lovely young lady called Jaden Cassidy. I think she might only be 10 or 11 years old. And her dad created the Echo. And I followed her immediately because, first of all, she's just so cute. She's just this adorable girl who cosplays everyone. But just to see her, this little girl walking around the conventions, and obviously I'm watching footage on YouTube, and it's just amazing what they can create. They're like architects and fashion designers kind of merged into one. And I studied fashion. Jen and I talked about this, and just showing, garment structure, but then having to use these, foam or, different, some of them are using laser printers and some of them are doing it in a really old fashioned way, but just to assemble and make these costumes it's really amazing. I'm just like blown away by it. So
absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, here's a fun question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, never mind. Go ahead.
Alrighty. I'm just trying to get to audience ones.
Yeah.
Found a fun one. If there was ever a live action film series, who would you want to play your character that is not you?
No one. I want to play my character. Ain't no one play that. No,
I don't blame you there.
I've been working out my thighs specifically to be able to play Symmetra.
Your thighs are pretty amazing already, so you're fine.
Yes.
Thanks, Bill.
what's the guy who's from Game of Thrones? Bjorn the Mountain?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd summon the Mountain in, or the actor who played the rugged guy with the beard on Game of Thrones, also with
Thorn.
the
The redhead.
Yeah. He's so.
That'd be great.
one of those guys.
Giant Spain.
No, his name Tormund was the character.
And like Jim Carrey is Junkrat.
I missed the question because we're under construction around here. What was the question?
Oh, the question was just if there was a live action film or series of Overwatch, who would you want to play your character? It says
That's
who
funny.
is not you, but you know what? If you want to.
Stigma would have to be played by either Steve Gutenberg or Bob Saget, obviously.
Why would you do that?
Steve Gutenberg, have his comeback.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
David Hasselhoff. As
I'm so disappointed in him. I was at the movie and he was there, and I was walking out, and he was walking perfectly well. And the person he was with was walking perfectly well. And I watched him go over to a disabled parking spot where his ladies was parked and get in it. And I was like,
I was like, I can't stop loving David Hasselhoff.
I know.
No, Lucy, I have a mitzvah story about him. If it makes you feel better, so I had, when I was living in Paris, my concierge was this woman Bernadette, who was obsessed with him, like even more than you, Lucy, like completely obsessed.
Impossible.
Really?
And
Did
all
she write him a letter when she was 8 years old?
He wasn't alive when she was 8 years old, but here's her dedication. All she wanted was to be his housekeeper. All she wanted in life was not even like his lover, his mistress. No, she wanted to be his housekeeper. She was like, all she wanted was to clean up after him. And so Rob, my husband, got in touch with Hasselhoff's agent. I got a cousin, because she's Portuguese. I got a cousin to translate a sentence. And the Hoff wrote on an autograph in Portuguese, "Dear Bernadette, if I'm ever hiring a new housekeeper, it's going to be you." In Portuguese, love Hasselhoff. And we sent it to her. And like, she completely lost her mind.
You're telling me
my
this
biggest
now?
fan. Yeah, I know. I can't believe I've never told you this.
Get in touch with David Hasselhoff?
We did like years ago, like 10 or 12 years ago. This happened.
I actually have decided I don't want to meet him, because he needs to be this like larger than life
icon.
Yes.
He is very tall.
Although I will maybe reach out to him and ask him to come on my show, Immigrant Jam, live on Twitch. Ha! See what I did there?
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Probably will, because Germany loves him. The world loves him, but Germany especially loves him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So Lucy, I did a commercial with the Hoff.
Oh God, what is this?
The Overwatch pregnancy panel just became the Overwatch Hasselhoff panel.
I did a Samsung commercial with him a few years back. And it was kind of like a Knight Rider-esque one where Kit is basically harassing him. And David Hasselhoff is like, I'm over this. He's not in my life anymore. Let me have my life. And so Kit would be in the background all the time, just stalking him, and it was really
hysterical.
Funny. Can you do? The director said, "How about if you're going to run as Kit tries to get you, and he's going to open fire on you, and then you just run and do a combat roll." And David Hasselhoff goes, I normally have a stunt coordinator. I don't think I can actually do this, And they're like, "What if we just put a blanket down for you, a ferny pad?" And he goes, "Okay, I'm going to give
a blanket and a cheeseburger is usually what you need."
Great video.
Brutal.
But he did it like pro, even though he didn't have a stunt coordinator. And then I think he was like, "You want me to do that again?" He's like, "Run, do the combat roll, get up again." And he's an older guy now and not as fit, but he kept doing it until they got it. I mean, they got it right first time, but he was having a lot of fun.
Jen, last thing real quick. You're in the Guinness Book of World Records for most voices, Jennifer Hale, for most voices on a video game. And David Hasselhoff is in the Guinness Book of World Records for most time on television, or like most viewed men on television.
Wow, that's amazing. Then he knows better than to work without a stunt coordinator.
Yes.
Parking disabled.
He's a union man. He's a union.
Dude, he's a human. Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny. We have something in common besides the movie theater.
Well, we are starting to run out of time. So first up, let's go ahead and plug your autograph sessions, because I know you guys are all doing signings or virtual signings shortly after that.
Right after
this. Right after this. Is it all of you immediately after this, or is it a little later?
All different times.
Okay, that's what I thought it was at different times. So let's just go down the list and everybody just tell us when your autograph session is and where people can find you on social media if they want to find you, like on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, or anything else you just want to plug, any personal projects. Let's go down the line. Let me see who is currently lit up. Current person that is lit up is, I'm showing Jen Cohn is lit up right now.
Wow, I'm just lit again. I love this. So I am signing today here on Twitch because I have a twice weekly Twitch show at Hey It's Jen Cohn. And so today on Twitch, I'll be signing from 4 to 6 p.m. And then tomorrow and on Sunday on my Instagram, on Instagram Live at Hey It's Jen Cohn. I'll be there tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. and on Sunday from noon to 2 p.m. Oh, these are all EST. Sorry, I didn't say. So again, today on Twitch, it's 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday 1 to 3 Eastern Standard Time on Instagram, and Sunday noon to 2 EST on Instagram. Done. And follow me in those two places. Those are my favorite. And also, Hey, it's Jen Cohn on Twitter.
Cool. Jennifer Hale, you're lit up right now.
I have my 2x4 with my phone on it.
I like it.
Oh my God.
Okay, you can go. We can go to the next person. That's okay.
No, I'm okay. No, this is I'm not taking it off. So I am on Instagraph.live/Jennifer Hale. Instagraph, GRAPH.live/Jennifer Hale. Right after this, well, give me 5 minutes. I just have to go pee. And then you can find me on Instagram. I'm J Hale Graham. And on Twitter, I'm J Hale Tweets. So yeah, there you go. Oh, wait, I have something to plug.
Go for it.
Be kind, be safe, go grateful as often as you can, and I love you.
Nice.
Thank you. That was amazing. All right, Jeannie, you are currently lit up.
So I am going on Instagram Live. I'm such a Luddite. I'm like, ooh, what is this? At 12 p.m. PST, which is 3 p.m. EST, and that is today and tomorrow. And you can find me at Jeannie Bolet.
Who's showing up next? Chloe.
Yes. I will be signing today and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. PST. So that's 2 to 4 EST. And on my Instagram live channel, Chloe_Hollings. That's it.
Carolina.
Hi. I will be on my Instagram Live. It's just my last name, Ravassa. And anytime you guys ever want to find any of us on social media, you just Google our names and it will come up. It's so easy, I promise. So Ravassa is my Instagram. I'll be signing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today, tomorrow, Sunday at high noon Pacific Standard. And someone's been asking for us to say bacon one more time in our character voices. So say bacon one more time.
Well done.
Well, Josh, why don't you go ahead and plug yours?
Oh, wonderful. First of all, amazing panel. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to the whole cast. I love our family, especially Jeannie. Welcome aboard. You fit right in with the rest of us. You know what I mean? You're designed to be here. I'm doing my signing in 20 minutes. The first one will be in 20 minutes this morning on my Instagram Live, which is Menace Made, and my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Optimus_Slimed, because like us, there's more to you than meets the eye. So come on down. I'm also doing one tomorrow. The second half of the signing will be at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock today, 2 o'clock Eastern today. So I already see some people following in the Twitch. We'll be going live in 20 minutes. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's /CrankyJ and twitch.tv, Optimus_Slimed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, Boris.
Say bacon one more time.
Yeah.
You can go to my name in full. That's BORISHIESTAND. But like Carolina said, Google and you will find. I also start my signing in 20 minutes on an Instagram live feed, which is again my name in full. And if you still want to print, you can go, I think it's the same for all of us. You go to instagraph.live/our name in full, and you can find all sorts of lovely swag there. And the signings, even though if you can't join us or any of us now or later, it doesn't really matter. You can still get a print because we'll be signing all weekend. I'm doing an hour in 20 minutes, and I'm also doing an hour on Sunday. But because I've got all sorts of craziness cooking, I haven't put out a time yet, but I will very, very soon. And I think it's going to be the same time, which is 2:00 EST. And on Twitter as well, it's Boris Hiestand. And I hope to see you there.
Okay, Theo?
Yeah, I am really bad at reading and following up on emails. So I never got anything set up. So I'm afraid I won't be doing any signings this weekend. I'm very sorry about that. But here is a big virtual kiss from me to you. And I don't know, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Feodor Chin. And I don't know, I guess the next time I do some signings, maybe you could, get in on that. But yeah, to echo what Jennifer Hale said, just stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. And if you do leave the house, wear a mask. And thanks for joining us.
Roadhog mask.
Love you, Theo.
Right. Lucy?
Yes, I am also starting to sign in 15 minutes. So that's going to be a 2-hour thing today, 2 to 4 EST tomorrow, 1 to 3 EST, and on Sunday, 5 to 7. You can follow me at You Love Lucy on Instagram, Lucie Pohl Comedy on Twitter, You Love Lucy on Twitch. You can stand outside of my window and call my name if you want. But, yes, and I second all of that, Josh. What Josh said, amazing people, so happy to be here. Gaku says hello and good night. Love you.
All right, Johnny.
So I will be signing at 1 p.m. today, Pacific time. And that's the only signing I'm going to have. You can click the link in my bio to grab any of the cool swag stuff. Yeah, that's about it.
And Anjali.
I am going to be signing 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to take a 1-minute break in between this panel, and then I'm going to meet you all over on Instagram Live, and I mean on Instagram Live, and the Instagram link is in my bio, like everybody else's. And I want to pimp out these awesome masks that our girl Melanie Jasmine is making. She has Sombra ones, she has Symmetra ones. She's got these super cool, awesome masks that have a place for your filter. They fit lovely. They're super breathable. They're super dope. And then you can say, this face is warded. And then say bacon one more time.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here. It was such an honor getting to speak with all of you. And thank you, everybody on Twitch that's here. It has been a wonderful panel. Is there anything else anybody else wants to add? If not, you guys go see them on Insta.
Great
go to their
luck to all of
signings.
You're all amazing.
Love you guys.
Thanks, guys. Lovely to see you all.
Say bacon one more time.
One more time.
Say bacon one more time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.